Hello, my name is Forte and I am a PhD student of the 37th cycle of the EECE PhD program at Politecnico di Torino. In 2018, I took my bachelor in automotive engineering, and in 2021, I completed my master's in mechanical engineering, defending a thesis about district heating networks. Currently, I am a PhD in electrical engineering and member of the Energy Security and Transition Lab at the Energy Center of Politecnico. Last semester, I joined the research group run by Professor Odun Botterud at the Leeds Lab of MIT, where I collaborated on a project focusing on optimal planning of electric buses in the Boston metropolitan area. My research mainly focuses on the energy system of the Mediterranean basin and its countries. For sake of simplicity, I grouped these into three shores: a northern, a southern, and an eastern shore. Each of these is characterized by stark differences in the three dimensions of the energy trilemma, namely energy sustainability, security, and affordability. If the renewable installed capacity in the northern and eastern shores accounts for 55 and 46% of their respective total installed capacities, it only represents 10% in the southern shore. On the contrary, unlike the southern shore, the other two heavily depend on energy imports. Please also have a look at how the three shores compare in terms of their energy intensity. Fossil fuels have historically ruled the energy dialogue among the three shores. In fact, the unbalanced distribution of fossil resources in the Mediterranean basin led to a net flow of crude oil, refined products, and natural gas from the southern to the other two shores. Paradoxically, the southern shore is the one with the highest solar and wind potential, and yet also the one where these are the least exploited. These are only some among the reasons why the debate on how to accomplish an effective energy transition in the Mediterranean basin is still lively and ongoing. Speaking from a more technological point of view, although renewable electricity will likely be the predominant commodity in the future energy mix, the complete electrification of the energy system is unarguably complicated, if not even unfeasible. Therefore, Mediterranean countries are already committed to the integration of alternative energy commodities, such as biofuels or green hydrogen, into their energy mixes. This broad vision was applied to a specific case study to estimate the green hydrogen producibility from renewables in 3 sites in Tunisia, with the aim of transporting it in blended form with natural gas to Italy through the Transmed pipeline. The approach followed in this work was different from analogous studies found in literature. While these generally lacked detailed infrastructural and topographical information about the production sites, the study presented here started from an on-site assessment of all their features, such as local water and land availability, as well as their power grid connection capacity. Operatively, we compared several combinations of renewable generators and electrolyzers in terms of their respective levelized costs of hydrogen, discarding those that did not comply with the aforementioned constraints, namely maximum available surface and peak power injected into the grid, and also checking whether the total hydrogen production was larger than the target value of 5 kiloton per year. The last step consisted in the computation of the LCOH, including both capital and operational costs, and the replacement costs of the electrolyzer stack. Site 1 proved to not be suitable both in terms of land availability and of hydrogen production potential. Therefore, results are presented for sites 2 and 3 only. First of all, despite the higher upfront costs, one-axis tracker PV generators proved to be more cost-effective in light of their larger hydrogen production. Computational results also pointed out how increasing the size of the rest generators does not return a proportionate increment in the production of green hydrogen because of the activation threshold and the maximum power capacity of the electrolyzer stack. For example, maximizing the size of the PV fixed generators in both sites only produced a 14 to 18% growth in hydrogen production, compared to a 70% increase in the PV plant size. Not to mention that around 40% of renewable electricity could not even feed the electrolyzer stack. Given these last considerations, a first path worth investigating would then be tuning the size of both the rest generators and the electrolyzer to minimize the amount of curtailed electricity. Alternatively, excess electricity could feed an additional load such as a desalinator, which in turn could feed fresh water to the electrolyzer stack. This plant configuration would relieve the stress on local freshwater resources, especially in areas such as the countries of the southern shore, where these are limited. I will investigate both proposals and integrate the new results in future works. Thank you for your attention.